This is Crater Lake, one of America's numerous beautiful national parks. This park, along with Mesa Verde, Sully's Hill, and Wind Cave, would not be here today if Theodore Roosevelt was not president. Theodore Roosevelt helped us grasp how important the environment is and what measures we can take to preserve it with his creation of the national park system. With his encouragement to keep the environment safe for years to come, we are now being enjoyed and seeing the beauty of the many national parks Roosevelt has created. Roosevelt took a stand in history by seeing that the Industrial Revolution was consuming too many natural resources and he needed to save the environment. Without his efforts to keep the environment safe from humans, we would have never known what the environment, never touched by man, would be like. Theodore Roosevelt was born on October 27, 1858, in New York City, New York. As a child, he was very asthmatic and could not play with his friends at school or at home. Instead, he watched the scenery outside his house. Eventually, he became interested in what more beauties the U.S. consisted of. Throughout his childhood, he became more and more interested in nature, as he was a hunter at the age of 16 and explored many parts of the United States. As he hunted, he wrote down all of the successful kills and fun experiences. But he noticed the dwindling population of the species of wildlife. This made him concerned about the safety of some species. As Theodore grew up, so did the United States. The Industrial Revolution would expand the needs of the natural resources so the revolutionizing United States would thrive. Theodore Roosevelt became the governor of New York in 1898. While governor, he supported park and forest programs and helped implement conservation laws. He knew how severely the forests and parks in New York were declining due to the Industrial Revolution coming to a climax, and the needs for natural resources were coming to an all-time high. After serving his time as governor, Roosevelt was elected as vice president along with President William McKinley. McKinley was then assassinated in September of 1901, and soon later, Theodore Roosevelt would take office as President of the United States. Roosevelt immediately began working on conservation laws and acts to slow down the mass extermination of what would be some of the national parks and monuments we love today. In 1906, Roosevelt passed the Antiquities Act. This act said that if any national park or monument is damaged, charges can be filed. The law reads as follows. Be it enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that any person who shall appropriate, injure, or destroy any historic or prehistoric ruin or monument be fined in a sum of not more than $500 or be imprisoned for a period of not more than 90 days, or shall suffer both fine and imprisonment in the discretion of the court. This was a big achievement in Roosevelt's presidency and the race for the creation of the national park system. Opponents, such as fishermen, hunters, and farmers, could not do any harm to any national parks/monuments, and it provided serenity and tranquility to the national parks followers. An example of opponents of Theodore's decisions was Lake Malheur in Oregon. At the time of Roosevelt's presidency, feathers on hats were very popular. So, hunters were determined to hunt birds, as they would make themselves a large profit per bird. Soon enough, hunters almost wiped out many species of birds. Roosevelt saw this very quickly and went into action. He quickly established the lake as a bird reservation, and no hunter could hunt there. It went pretty smoothly until 1920, when farmers drained water from rivers leading into Lake Malheur. This caused water levels in the lake to drop. Then, Oregonian citizens had an idea to drain the lake and sell the land to farmers, but the government wanted the land to be set aside. Political arguments and harsh advertisements quickly started. One advertisement even called the native birds worthless and inedible. After a couple months and a long, hard legal battle, the Supreme Court finally ruled that the land shall belong to the government. As more and more land was preserved, more and more politicians and business leaders became angry that Roosevelt was not giving away the land for free. So, they created the Denver Public Land Convention to help create an amendment that would ban Roosevelt from preserving any more land in 5 western states. If Theodore Roosevelt did not sign this amendment, he would lose popularity and support in his agricultural bills and laws. So, in the 10-day time span that a president has to sign or veto a bill, Roosevelt worked very hard and established 21 national forests in that time. As Theodore Roosevelt's presidency came to an end, he created 4 national game preserves, 15 federal bird reservations, 147 national forests, 18 national monuments, and 4 national parks. Without his concerns that our environment is in danger, we wouldn't have nearly as many wild species of plants and animals as we have today. His legacy is still here today. Citizens and tourists still visit these amazing places thousands of times every year, and it is all because of Theodore Roosevelt. If he was never president, there would not be as much natural, untouched environment available to us as we have today. He took a stand in history by realizing that the United States was in trouble, and he needed to cut down on using our natural resources too much.